Have you ever seen a moment in tennis where winning the match wasn't the biggest story? That's exactly what happened when Alex Eala stepped onto the court alongside one of the greatest champions the sport has ever known, Venus Williams. Fans expected powerful rallies, spectacular winners, and a memorable doubles performance. They got all of that, but they also witnessed a moment of humility and respect that no one saw coming. In just a few unforgettable seconds, Alex Eala showed the world that greatness isn't measured only by trophies or rankings. Sometimes, it's revealed through the smallest acts of kindness. That single gesture would leave Venus Williams visibly touched, send social media into a frenzy, and turn a routine doubles match into one of the most talked about stories of the entire grass court season. But that emotional moment was only the beginning. What followed was a dream partnership, a viral celebration, heartbreaking defeat, and a powerful message that reminded millions why they fell in love with tennis in the first place. When Alex Eala arrived in Bad Homburg ahead of Wimbledon 2026, she was already one of the hottest names in women's tennis. The 21-year-old Filipina had shocked the tennis world with an incredible grass court run, defeating top stars including Elena Rybakina and Alina Svitolina, earning the first Wimbledon seeding of her career and becoming the first Filipina player ever to be seeded in the singles draw at the All England Club. Confidence was at an all-time high, but nothing could have prepared her for the opportunity that came next. Tournament organizers paired her with none other than seven-time Grand Slam singles champion Venus Williams in the doubles event. For most fans, it sounded unbelievable. For Alexandra, it was the realization of a childhood dream. She had spent years watching the Williams sisters dominate tennis, never imagining that one day she would share the same side of the court with one of her greatest idols. The partnership immediately became one of the biggest stories of the tournament. On one side stood a legend who had inspired generations. On the other stood one of the brightest young stars in world tennis. The contrast between experience and youth made the pairing fascinating before a single ball had even been struck. Both players had suffered early exits in the singles competition and viewed doubles as valuable preparation before Wimbledon. Yet once they walked onto the grass together, it became clear this partnership was about far more than match practice. Their chemistry was instant. Eala's aggressive baseline game perfectly complemented Venus Williams' calm presence and exceptional net play. They raced through the opening set, taking control early and never allowing their opponents to settle. Every point seemed to strengthen their confidence. Every game showed better communication. The crowd quickly realized they were watching something special, cheering louder with every passing rally. Then came the moment nobody expected. During a changeover under the intense German sunshine, a ball kid approached carrying an umbrella to protect one of the players from the heat. Without hesitation, Alex Eala politely motioned for the umbrella to be held over Venus Williams instead. It lasted only a few seconds, but those few seconds spoke louder than any celebration could have. Here was a young player enjoying one of the biggest moments of her career, yet her first instinct was to show respect to the champion standing beside her. Cameras captured everything. Fans noticed immediately. Social media clips spread within minutes. It wasn't a staged moment or something planned for publicity. It happened naturally, and that authenticity is exactly why it resonated with so many people. Tennis fans weren't simply talking about Alex Eala's forehand anymore. They were talking about her humility, maturity, and character. Inspired by the atmosphere, the pair continued their impressive performance and closed out a convincing straight sets victory, winning 6-3, 6-4 in just over an hour. While many expected emotional celebrations, Eala once again allowed the spotlight to shine on Venus Williams. Instead of making the victory about herself, she applauded her legendary partner and soaked in the experience with obvious gratitude. After the match, the two players smiled for a simple selfie together, a photo that instantly exploded across social media. Fans from the Philippines, the United States, and around the world celebrated the unlikely partnership, describing it as one of the feel-good stories of the season. The image quickly became symbolic of two generations united by their love for tennis, with one legend continuing to inspire and another rising star writing the next chapter. Alexandra later shared an emotional message thanking Venus Williams for the unforgettable opportunity, writing that she had never imagined she would one day compete alongside one of her childhood heroes. Venus responded warmly, praising her young partner and expressing how much she had enjoyed the experience. Those exchanges only strengthened the admiration fans already felt for the partnership. It was clear that the respect between them was genuine and mutual. Their victory earned a place in the quarterfinals, where an even tougher challenge awaited against second seeds Olivia Nichols and Tereza Mihalakova, one of the strongest doubles teams on the WTA Tour. Although Eala and Williams showed flashes of brilliance early in the match, their experienced opponents gradually took control. Despite fighting until the very last point, the dream partnership came to an end with a straight sets defeat. The result was disappointing, but it did little to erase what the pair had accomplished together. In only 2 matches, they had created memories that fans would remember long after the tournament ended. What happened after the loss perhaps summed up the entire story even better than the victory. Instead of focusing on disappointment, both players reflected on how meaningful the experience had been. Alexandra thanked Venus once again for the opportunity to learn from one of the greatest champions in tennis history. Venus responded with another heartfelt message, calling the experience unforgettable and praising her young partner. Even their opponents spoke with admiration, describing it as an honor to compete against a legend like Venus Williams and acknowledging the excitement surrounding the partnership. For Alexandra Eala, the week in Bad Homburg represented far more than a doubles result. It confirmed that she belongs among the biggest names in world tennis. It showcased her talent, professionalism, and maturity on one of the sport's biggest stages just days before making history at Wimbledon as the first Filipino woman ever to earn a seat in the singles draw. For Venus Williams, it demonstrated that her influence extends far beyond trophies. She continues to inspire new generations of players who grew up watching her rewrite tennis history. Sometimes tennis produces unforgettable champions. Sometimes it produces unforgettable matches. But every once in a while, it delivers something even more powerful, a story that reminds us why sport matters. Alexandra Eala and Venus Williams gave fans exactly that. One victory, one heartbreaking defeat, one unforgettable act of kindness, and a partnership that crossed generations, cultures, and continents. As Wimbledon 2026 begins, Alexandra Eala carries far more than confidence onto the grass courts of London. She carries the respect of the tennis world. Whether this partnership was simply a beautiful one-week story or the beginning of a lasting friendship, one thing is already certain: millions of fans will never forget the moment a rising Filipina star chose humility over the spotlight, earning